Periscope, what's up? Greg Howes, it is Friday. We made it. Finished the week, heading into the weekend. Let's go. Good morning, everybody. Shaniqua from Michigan. Raleigh, North Carolina. Jonathan, good morning. Francis, good morning. Tammy Holloway, good morning, good morning. Ethel in Memphis. The Murrays are here. Good morning, good morning. Fayetteville, North Carolina. All right, New York. Renee, good morning. Texas. Wow. No, I'm not going to cry. Dallas, Texas. Paris, Tennessee. What it do, Jonathan? Erlene, good morning. New Mexico. Charlotte, North Carolina. Gloria. Good morning. Got Gloria, Mississippi. South Carolina, good morning. Sarah in South Carolina. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Cincinnati. Fort Lauderdale, Park Forest, Illinois. Good morning, everybody. Got the coffee going. High energy. Get the caffeine moving. Get the green stuff going. That green smoothie. Yeah. All right, Marlena. You always have the coffee brewing. Okay. All right. Mississippi is here. Sauk Village, good morning. The Heights. Apple cider vinegar tea. I don't know about all that. Just give me my coffee, I'll be happy. You guys are something else. Good morning, Naperville. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. You don't care about my emotions? Come on. I care about your emotions. Come on, help me feel the love. Yeah. I was at McDonald's in Sauk Village this morning. Absolutely, I was. Did you see me? Yeah, I was there. And I've told you before, remember why I go to Sauk Village McDonald's? Because normally I should be going to the McDonald's in South Chicago Heights, which is right down the street from Cornerstone. But I don't go there because it's the slowest McDonald's on the planet, even with 2 drive-thrus. That just made it slower. When I go to McDonald's in Sauk Village, they're always fast. It's the meaning of fast food. I love it. So that's why I go to McDonald's in Sauk Village. And it wasn't for me. It was for my son, Jonathan. It was for my son. Yeah. Nasty McDonald's. Okay. Who is that? Tanya Townsend. Nasty. Just nasty McDonald's. Okay. All right. Come on. We can't give McDonald's a bad rep here. All right. Good morning. Portland, Oregon. It's early in the morning out there, 6 a.m. Black tea in Portland. Okay. Culver's is better, but Culver's isn't open in the morning, is it? It's not open for breakfast. Yes, I'm preaching the gospel of McDonald's. All right. Let's get going. Hey, I want to apologize for missing yesterday. I had to take my wife to Northwestern on a medical appointment, so I do apologize. I missed you guys yesterday. So I am sorry about that, but here we are today. It is Friday, finishing the week, heading into the weekend. It's going to be a tremendous weekend. And so get prepared for something good, because something good is coming your way. And I want to encourage you to get into your local church this weekend, whether they meet on Saturday or Sunday. Get involved, get engaged, be engaged in the worship, get involved in the fellowship, receive the word, minister to one another, encourage one another. Get in your local church. It's important. It really is. Your local church needs you, and you need your local church. Don't ever forget it. The church is extremely important, so get involved in your local church. We had a great kickoff last night for the Comeback Kid Conference with Sophia Ruffin. It's happening here at Cornerstone. Man, what a wild, lively, energetic, powerful time. You can see some of the highlights of it on my Facebook page, my Instagram, my Snapchat. There's some videos there, some still shots. So check it out. And the Comeback Conference picks up again this morning. It runs all day and tonight. John Eckhart will be preaching tonight. And then it runs all day tomorrow, up until 4 p.m. tomorrow. Admission is free. There is no registration fee unless you're going to the huddle session with Sophia Ruffin, which I believe is tomorrow. That is a $99 fee. But other than that, everything is free. You're welcome to come and be a part of the Comeback Kid Conference with Sophia Ruffin today, tonight, and tomorrow. It's going to be something else, I'm telling you. Powerful. High energy. All right. We're in the middle of a series of teaching we're doing at Cornerstone. We're calling it Emotional Episodes. And I wanted to come on this morning and just spend a few minutes with you talking about the value of our emotions. And this might stir up your interest. Those of you in the local area, we will be meeting here Sunday at 8 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. if you'd like to come and hear some more. And we'll be getting more into the emotional episode portion of it on Sunday. But today, let's just look at the value of our emotions, why God gave us our emotions. And you know, when you look at your life, you have to ask yourself, wouldn't life be easier? Wouldn't this whole thing be easier if we didn't have to struggle with all of these feelings? All of these feelings that we have. All these emotions that so often are even contradicting one another. And we go through these feelings and emotions. Wouldn't we be able to handle our problems more efficiently, more logically, if our emotions were not involved? I mean, come on. Wouldn't that be the case? I think it would be. But we are emotional people, aren't we? And we do have feelings. And so we have to learn how to deal with it. We have to learn how to manage it. You know, the circumstances of your life are just that. They're circumstances. They're situations. Things that happen in our lives day in and day out. Things that we have to deal with. Problems that we have to solve. The struggle arises when our feelings get involved. That's where the wrestling is, where our emotions are coming into play, where our emotions are getting involved. We start dealing with our memories about different things, our sentimentality, our fears, our insecurities, our anxieties. All of these things get stirred up in us as we are facing difficult situations in our lives. And that is what causes us to be disheartened because of our feelings, because of our emotions. For example, if you're dismissed from a job, just an example. This is not a prophecy. Okay, relax. It's an example, an illustration. If you get dismissed from a job, what is it that's really troubling you? Because for a lot of us, we'd be glad to be out of the job. We complain about it all the time. So it would seem like we'd be glad to get rid of the job. So what is it that's really troubling us when we are dismissed from a job? Well, maybe it's the feeling of rejection. They don't want me. They don't like me. Maybe it's the wounds that are caused by that loss of a position, an emotional wounding that takes place. Maybe it's the regret that we feel because we know that we didn't perform at our highest capacity, at our highest skill level. Maybe there's regret there because we know we didn't do our best. Maybe it's the fear of the future. Maybe we don't like being dismissed from our job because we're not quite sure what's coming down the road. We don't know what's next. We don't know where we're going to get our income, and it causes fear. Maybe there's some worry, some anxiety about somebody else wanting to hire you. Is somebody else really going to want me? Am I qualified enough? Do I have enough education? Are they really going to want me working for their organization? And so we go through all of these feelings, all of these emotions that are connected to a circumstance or a situation in our lives. But in the midst of all of that, we have to recognize that God gave us the gift of emotions. Your emotions are a gift from God. They really are. Your emotions are part of your soul. Your will is there, your decision making, your thoughts, your mind, your intellect, and your feelings, your emotions. It's a gift from God. And God gave you your emotions so that you would be able to express yourself in the different situations of life. So one of the reasons why God gave us the gift of emotions, number one, this is number one if you're taking some notes. Number one, we have emotions so we can live a fulfilled life. So we can live a fulfilled life. What would life be without feelings of love and happiness and excitement and fulfillment and satisfaction and surprise? Our lives would be empty without those feelings, without those emotions. We have emotions when a child is born. I remember when my kids were born, my daughter, my son. I was even in the delivery room for the birth of my first two grandchildren. Amazing. The feelings, the emotions that are involved with that. What about when a victory is won? You've been going through a battle and finally you win the victory. You feel that exuberance, that joy, that happiness, that excitement, the rejoicing over the victory that has been won. What about when you achieve goals that you have set in your life? You have emotion so that you can express gratitude and joy and satisfaction and fulfillment because you have achieved certain goals that you set for yourself. So we have these emotions so we can live a fulfilled life. Now on the other side, there's also painful emotions, and those are still part of the gift of God to us. We have painful emotions. Emotions like fear. Now I know there's an unhealthy type of fear, but the way God intended fear to work, it is supposed to be healthy for us. It's supposed to be good for us to prevent us from doing damage to ourselves, to prevent us from losing our lives. It is that kind of healthy fear that inspires us to take precautions. Wisdom says, I don't want to approach a bear and hit him in the nose. Come on now. That's a healthy kind of fear. We also have sorrow. We're able to express grief when a loved one passes away. And it's perfectly fine. It's a good thing. God gave us the gift of emotions so that we would be able to release those feelings. Sorrow, grieving is part of that over the loss of a loved one. Now that can become unhealthy if we allow the sorrow to go too far. If we allow the grieving to carry on and on and on and go into depression, then the emotion becomes unhealthy. So we just have to be aware of these things. We have our emotions so we can express our need for God. We express emotions when we're worshiping God. Sometimes we're jumping up and down joyful. Sometimes we're running. There was a young lady in the meeting last night. She was running back and forth across the front of the building, running with all of her might. That was an emotional expression of her love for God, her worship for God. Sometimes we may be quiet. Sometimes we may be weeping in the presence of God. You know, distress, trouble can get our attention, and distress motivates us to seek after God, to go after God with all of our heart. So we have these painful emotions that are present to empower us to express how we feel, how we're dealing with these difficult, challenging situations. But God did not intend for us to stay in those feelings. He didn't intend for us to remain in those painful emotions until they get the best of us. Instead, those painful emotions are intended to protect us, to show us what is good. We have those painful emotions to make us aware of what is truly important, what is truly valuable, and what is truly fulfilling for our lives. So God gave us the gift of emotions so that we could express ourselves in a healthy manner. Secondly, we have this gift of emotions for meaningful relationships with other people. Our feelings, our emotions are always used in our relationships. You know, there's a lot that tends to divide us. We have racial issues. We have cultural issues that divide us. Politics will divide us, Democrats, Republicans. We have religious beliefs that tend to divide us, keep us away from each other. Even our personal tastes can tend to divide us, keep us from being together, keep us from being unified. But God gave us the gift of emotions, and our emotions can be used as a tool to actually bring us together. So that's a good thing, don't you think? We can use our emotions to bring us into a place of unity. We're all dealing with brokenness. We're all dealing with sin. We're all dealing with needs. We all have trials. That's a global phenomenon. I can preach a message here at Cornerstone, and I can go to South Africa or Zambia or Croatia or Honduras and preach the same message, and it can have a same kind of impact because people all over the world are dealing with the same kinds of needs. People in Croatia have trials. People in South Africa have brokenness, just like we do here in America. So we need people in our lives that we can be real with. We need people in our lives that we can share our intimate thoughts with, our intimate feelings with, our emotions. And when we share those feelings and emotions, hopefully they're working to bring us closer together. Too often we are using our emotions to build up walls of opposition that will separate us from one another. Instead, we should be using our emotions, our feelings, to help us understand one another. Romans chapter 12, starting at verse 9, the scripture says, "Let love be without hypocrisy. Abhor what is evil. Cling to what is good. Be kindly affectionate to one another with brotherly love, in honor, giving preference to one another, not lagging in diligence, but fervent in spirit, serving the Lord, rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing steadfastly in prayer, distributing to the needs of the saints, given to hospitality." Now listen to these emotional descriptions. Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Weep with those who weep. Be of the same mind toward one another. Do not set your mind on high things, but associate with the humble. Do not be wise in your own opinion. Repay no one evil for evil. Have regard for good things in the sight of all men. If it is possible, as much as depends on you, live peaceably with all men. Beloved, do not avenge yourselves, but rather give place to wrath. For it is written, "Vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord." Therefore, if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he is thirsty, give him a drink. For in so doing, you will heap coals of fire on his head. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. So all of that has to do with our relationships. It has to do with how we're getting along with people. You know, Jesus came to earth. He came here to move in the human condition so that he would feel the things that we feel. And he did all of that so that we would connect with him as the one who lived without sin. He came to feel. He came to have our emotions. And in doing so, we are now able to connect with him. What an awesome thing. And we can connect with each other by the power of the emotions that God gave us. Now, the third thing, the final thing as we wrap this up, is that we have emotions so that we can reflect the image of God, so that we can represent him in the world. Galatians chapter 5 says we have something called the fruit of the Spirit. Love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such there is no law. There's no law. There's no regulations on these things. We need to just allow the fruit of the Spirit to be produced. Let the fruit of the Spirit grow in your life. We use emotions to motivate us to take action in demonstrating the grace of God, the mercy of God, the love of God, the passion of God to a world that is in darkness. Our emotions will be used by God to show himself to a world that's lost in sin. The fruit of the Spirit is not passive. The fruit of the Spirit is active. The fruit of the Spirit means we take action. Take kindness, for example. Kindness doesn't just sit in your heart. Kindness is what motivates you to compassion. Compassion leads us to take action in meeting the needs of people. Jesus was moved with compassion. And when he was moved with compassion, he took action. The fruit of the Spirit will not remain passive in our lives. The fruit of the Spirit means we are taking action to be a blessing to other people's lives as we reflect the image of God in the earth. God is working through us to draw people to himself. And so he has raised us up with the gift of emotions so that we can express the joy of the Lord that is our strength. Our emotions will even help us identify our purpose. What is it that stirs you to compassion? What kind of injustice makes you angry? Who is it that you cannot bear to see suffering? When you start identifying those issues in your life, you're going to start seeing your purpose with greater clarity. God is stirring you up to be a blessing. He's stirring you up to be a blessing. So I hope you can see how valuable your emotions are. We have these emotions in our lives as a gift from God. And God wants to use us with our gift of emotions to be a blessing to many, many people. I appreciate you. I love you. I'm so glad you were on with me today. Thank you so much. I am grateful for you. You have open doors in front of you today. You know that. You have opportunities awaiting you. You have divine connections coming into your life. You have divine resources coming into your hands. You have favor with God and man. God is raising you up with solutions today. He's giving you the answer. God is pouring out favor on your life. I see a number of you with great things happening even today. There's going to be conversations today. There will be meetings today. There will be things that look like it's just happenstance, so it'll look like it's an accident, but it's really the movement of God in your life, causing things to happen that will be good for you. God bless you so very much. Have a great weekend. Get to your local church this weekend. It's going to be good. God bless you. Have a great day today. Have a great weekend. Be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. I'll talk to you soon.